Imagine you're a satellite imagery analyst. Your job is routine until your coordinates lock onto Sector 7. There, floating in waters for 1,000 meters deep, is a metallic hull. You zoom in. It's not a modern vessel. It's a 1912 cargo ship, the SS Aurora, which officially vanished in a storm 114 years ago. But something is wrong. The ship has no rust. It gleams under the 2026 sun as if it just left the shipyard. When the first drone team lands on the deck, the world stops. The cameras show tables set in the dining hall. The coffee in the cups is still steaming. The bread on the table is soft. But there isn't a single soul on board. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Only the sound of the wind hitting doors that should be rotted, but look brand new. Where are the 150 people who were supposed to be there? And why, for them, does time seem to have stood still? Technical investigation revealed what science calls granular causality. Every mechanical clock on the ship stopped at exactly 14:14. Upon entering a 50-meter radius of the hull, the rescued team's modern electronic devices began to fail in impossible ways. Digital watches started counting backward. Lithium-ion batteries drained and recharged themselves in seconds-long cycles. The ship wasn't in the ocean. It was trapped in a fold of space-time. The biggest shock came from the captain's cabin. A 1910 Leica camera was found on the desk. When the film was developed in an isolated bunker, the experts turned pale. The photos showed the routine of the 1912 voyage, but the last image, photo number 36, showed something that defies logic. A crisp, clear image of the International Space Station crossing the night sky. How did a sailor, before the invention of the airplane, manage to record a modern satellite? The SS Aurora became a causality anchor. It is a corrupted pixel in the fabric of our universe. An object that saw the future and was rejected by time, left floating in the limbo between what was and what will be. On the third night of the investigation, the phenomenon became biological. The researchers began to suffer from overwritten residual memory. One of the engineers started screaming in an extinct 19th century Welsh dialect. He no longer recognized his own high-tech gear. He tried desperately to scrub the deck with his bare hands, believing he was a sailor from that era. The ship was leaking the consciousness of its former occupants into the living. In the cargo hold, behind a door welded shut from the inside, contact microphones captured the chorus of the absent. They weren't cries for help. It was the sound of an eternal celebration. Chamber music, laughter, and the clinking of crystal. Thousands of hours of audio were recorded, and in every single one, the sound was the same, a party that never ends. When the team tried to cut through the steel door, the outside temperature dropped to 40 degrees, below zero instantly. The stars in the sky spun violently until they formed the exact constellations of the night of the disappearance in 1912. The ship wasn't just going home. It was pulling the present into its temporal abyss. Military command had no choice. An object that alters physics and rewrites the human mind cannot be allowed to exist. A torpedo was fired. The impact should have vaporized the SS Aurora, but high-speed cameras recorded something else. At the moment of contact, the ship didn't explode. It simply de-existed. It blinked like a burnt-out light bulb and left behind an absolute void. No oil slick. No piece of wood. Only a circle of perfectly still water in the middle of a choppy ocean, but it didn't leave. Experts believe the ship is now a quantum observer. It only needs one thing to maintain its physical form: to be observed. It lives on the periphery of our vision, in the corner of the eye of sailors and pilots. And now, the most disturbing part. If while you were listening to this account, you felt a drop in temperature or a distortion in the sound, know that the ship has just found a new anchor. It no longer floats in the Atlantic. It floats in your mind. And now that you know of its existence, You are the one keeping it alive. The silence you hear now is not peace. It's the ship waiting for you to close your eyes.